This program was made possible in part by the continuing contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
Little dance move, little sidestep, and that's the Taylor Hill that we've known for the last couple years.
Jones reaches in, gets the rebound, but Taylor can't get the short-range shot. Buford with the rebound, and she cleans up the mess. Taisha Smith drives, uses the backboard to sink one. Central will go to the free throw line from here on out. Taylor with the right-handed layup. Keystone Productions proudly presents high school girls basketball. Welcome to Roosevelt High School, everyone, as we begin our first game of 2009, featuring a non-conference battle with the Eden Prairie Eagles from the Lake Conference and the Minneapolis Roosevelt Teddies from the Minneapolis City Conference. Stick around, the game will start shortly. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Peden, joined by a new partner making his broadcasting debut, Brandon Jones. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
Now, today we've got two sleeper teams in a sense. Eden Prairie comes in today at 6-2, beating St. Paul Central and Osseo in the Hopkins tournament over the New Year's holiday, and Minneapolis Roosevelt at 8-3, and they've compiled that record, yet they're not at full strength, so this could be an exciting game. It could be a surprising one as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting game. Both teams are, like I said, sleeper teams. And what better way to start off the 09's part of the season without a big sleeper win?
That's Eden Prairie, as I mentioned, they've beat St. Paul Central and Osseo en route to a 6-2 record. They've taken down a number of other top teams in Class 4A, yet no one is picking them to win the state tournament. But I talked to the coach, and the thing with them is they have a very deep roster.
Yeah, they do have a very deep roster compared to Roosevelt. It's going to be a tough uphill battle for Roosevelt to get into this game. But if they just start off fast and fast-paced and play tough defense, they should be able to win.
Roosevelt at 8-3, they don't have all their players yet. They're still waiting for Shaquila Bowler, one of the state's top players, to come back from injury. But they do have the state leader in assists, Suriya McGuire. So Roosevelt, they're no pushover team.
No, they're not a pushover team. They're small, but they're tough, you know. As long as they get the ball around and they make quick baskets and they go to the hole, they'll be okay.
And speaking of quick baskets, let's go to the keys of the game. We'll start with the Eden Prairie Eagles. First, they want to wear out Roosevelt with their depth. I talked to Coach Clayton Hargrove. He said they can run 10 players at any time, and he'll be looking to use that to his advantage. They just need to play well to win this game. Minneapolis Roosevelt, not a pushover team, so Eden Prairie can't just look past them and say they've got a victory in the bag before the game is over. They have to play Roosevelt. They can't be looking ahead. And finally, they want to play an up-tempo ball. I talked to both coaches, and they both told me that they like to play an up-tempo game, a fast-paced game, and they'll be looking to combine that with their depth to wear out Minneapolis Roosevelt. Brandon, what does Roosevelt need to do to win?
Roosevelt's keys are containing Michelle Torvin, also controlling the fast break and being patient on offense. I think being patient on offense is probably their biggest key, moving the ball around, setting their plays, and just capitalize on the opportunities like free throws and things like that.
All right. Well, we hope to bring you a great game. Stick around. Coming up next, the starting lineups. We will now present the starting lineups. We'll begin with the visiting Eden Prairie Eagles. Eden Prairie. The starting five will be Carly Rothfusz at forward, Lauren Whitman at forward, Michaela Clark at guard, Morgan Van Riper-Rose at guard, and Michelle Tobin at center. Eden Prairie, a very deep roster. They have some talent as well, including Carly Rothfusz. She will be going to Division I North Dakota when she graduates this spring. The starting five for Minneapolis Roosevelt will be Suriya McGuire at guard, Taisha Wright at guard, Corinne Cook at forward, Jasmine Bell at center, and Samira Saeed at forward. In Minneapolis Roosevelt, not at full strength yet, but they're led by Suriya McGuire, who leads the team in scoring, second on the team in scoring, leads the state in assists at 6.5 per game, so she is clearly not a ball hog. Roosevelt, we talked about, we've got two sleeper teams here. Last year they did quite a bit in Class 2A. They got to the section final before losing to Jordan, the eventual state runner-up, and they hung with Jordan for quite a while. And of course, the big talk this year was getting Shaquila Bowler. She transferred from Bloomington Kennedy, and she has family here, and under the transfer rules, you have to sit out of here if you transfer schools, except if you have a residence in the district, which in this case Shaquila did, so she was able to transfer, and she'll be ready to play in the middle of January. And speaking of Jordan, they have a big match against them later on in February. Expected to be a preview of the section final, and Coach Tim Williams has a big plan. He's going to debut an alternate jersey for the Roosevelt Teddies. They'll be wearing black for that game. They're wearing their maroon home jerseys today, while Eden Prairie is wearing white. So
yes,
this game could help set them up. I talked to one of the Roosevelt players, and they said not having bowlers helping them figure out who their other go-to options are, so that when she finally does return, they can be even stronger.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how some teams are. When they lose their star player, they find their identity within themselves, and they start playing more as a team instead of relying on one person. So this is a big game for Roosevelt, and if they can win here, this can be a momentum shift for their team.
Could you imagine if that happened in Minneapolis South and Taylor Hill?
Yeah.
There's a tip-off.
There we go.
And it's going to go out of bounds.
All right, we're going to... It's White's ball. We're going to reset here.
Eden Prairie will get the first possession. Well, that doesn't happen too often. No.
All right.
Eden Prairie, when you hear of their name, they usually think about football, but hopefully the girls' basketball team is Van Riper Rose.
Oh, nice jump shot by number 34.
Eden Prairie strikes first. I was saying, you might think of them for football when you first hear of Eden Prairie, but their girls' basketball team is certainly making some noise of their own. We've got a hand check foul. I believe it's going to go against Carly Rothfusz. And it is. That's her first. Bell to Cook. All right. To right. Back to Cook.
Eden Prairie in a 2-3 zone right now.
They're going to try to make Roosevelt shoot long distance.
Nice.
And McGuire with the answer.
Nice move there by McGuire.
Don't be afraid to speak up either. Tied up at 2.
Oh.
We're going to have a foul. Count it.
Tough basket there.
Carly Rothfusz with a 3-point play opportunity. The foul's going to go against Suriya McGuire. Rothfusz heading to North Dakota when she graduates. Completes a 3-point play.
Oh, quick steal here.
And that is Lauren Whitman with the steal in the basket. 7-2.
Oh, tough defense by Eden Prairie once again.
And this time it's Carly Rothfusz with the right-handed layup.
Eden Prairie off to a fast start with very tough defense.
We mentioned in the keys to the game, they like to play up-tempo.
All right, now they're running a trap zone here. Nice
right
ball.
For 3. Bullseye.
And it's good. Nice ball movement there by Roosevelt. The best way to break the zone is with ball movement and passing, so great job.
And a good way to answer that fast break run from Roosevelt. Now on the other end, Rothfusz short. She gets her own rebound. Out to Van Riper Rose. Pump fakes. Misses the 2. Rebound. Oh, what?
I got it.
Well, Cook gets there before it goes out of bounds.
All right, Roosevelt bringing the ball down court again. Eden Prairie going to a man defense now.
Cook goes to McGuire.
And now they switch over to a zone.
McGuire looked for Bell, but the steal from Eden Prairie. Rothfusz to Whitman. Whitman, no good.
Make it. And Roosevelt brings it back down court.
Saeed with the rebound. Cook.
Oh.
Ball last touched by Eden Prairie. She was looking for Saeed. Looks like Eden Prairie's mixing things up on defense.
Yes.
Cook from the paint. Too strong. Rebound Whitman.
Oh.
Van Riper Rose for
Wide
three.
open three, and
Swish.
it's good.
Right. Loses the ball to Van Riper Rose. Eden Prairie has numbers. For three.
Oh.
No good. That was Clark. But Eden Prairie gets the rebound. Now Tobin's going to try to...
Tough inside basket by Tobin.
Gets the penetration. Eden Prairie up 14-5. And Minneapolis Roosevelt going to call timeout.
All right, as Roosevelt's in this timeout, one thing they need to work on is their ball control. They're throwing some bad passes. They just need to just slow it down. They're obviously still in the game, but if they slow down, they'll be fine.
We mentioned keys to the game. They needed to control the fast break, and right now Eden Prairie is doing what they want to with the fast break baskets.
And along with the fast break, they also need to defend the three a little better. Eden Prairie has just shot 3 threes quickly. They only made one of them, but they've been pretty wide open shots. So defend the three and stop the fast break, and they're still in this game.
And for Eden Prairie, any tips for them? I mean, they're up 14-5, so you wouldn't think they have any issues at the moment.
Well, one thing that they're doing well, and they can continue to do well, is play that strong defense. They're in a man zone, and they're controlling, Roosevelt's flow, and that has created 2 or 3 fast break opportunities so far. So they continue to do what they're doing, and they'll continue to lead in this game. All right, McGuire brings the ball down. She's slicing through the defense. Nice pass inside. Oh, cannot finish. Oh, good second chance opportunity there, too.
That's going to send Bell to the free throw line. I think I'll handle the play better. It might be easier for Suriya. Stick to one, play-by-play analyst.
Okay.
Bell at the line. Misses her first. She averages 14.6 points per game, 50% free throw shooter this season. And true to her stat sheet, she's 1 of 2. The foul was on Michelle Tobin, and we're going to have a foul on Roosevelt. It's going to go against... number 20 on Roosevelt. Not listed in the program. But one of the ongoing... oh, no, it's Brittany Finley. There we go. Tobin, inside.
Oh.
No good. Rebound, Finley. Finley takes it herself. That was a bad shot. Probably not the right kind of shot for her to take. Rothfusz to Van Riper Rose. Open, 3, no good. Tobin with the rebound. For 3 again. Clark misses. Rebound, Cook.
All right, Eden Prairie, they continue to shoot these threes, and they're getting the wide open looks. They just can't nail them down.
McGuire with the tough shot, no good. Bell cleans up the mess, 14-8. I was going to say, I mean, Eden Prairie, they're not falling, but you keep leaving them open threes. They'll fall sooner or later.
Correct.
But Lauren Whitman says, forget the 3. I'm going to get 2 points from inside. They've been doing that well, too. As we see fans slowly filing in. Finley.
Oh.
Misses. Went for Cook. Do you think Van Riper Rose getting her hand in there disrupted her pass?
Oh, of course, yes. Eden Prairie continues to run that man zone, and that zone is really frustrating the ball flow for Roosevelt. But one thing Roosevelt can do is just go back inside to Bell. She seems to be having her way inside right now. So
Van Riper Rose draws the foul.
And right there, that was good, intense defense there by Roosevelt, number 25. Cook there.
She's going to get called for the foul. That's her first, and Van Riper Rose will go to the line. Rose, a 5'10" sophomore guard, played on the Metro Stars AAU, or not Metro Stars, the North Tartan AAU 15 and under team this summer. And here's the massive substitutions. This is what Clayton Hargrove was talking about. Van Riper Rose makes her first. So in now is Jackie Johnson, number 53, number 22, Karen Gibson, number 25, Taylor Ewell, and number 21, Shannon Anderson. So he basically substituted his whole team.
Oh.
Carrying.
Tough call there, tough call there. Okay, with that massive substitution, although they're fresh legs on the floor, Roosevelt can really capitalize because they're still bench players. And Roosevelt has majority starters in, so right now they can capitalize on this opportunity
It's 18
and get
to
back
8.
in this game.
18 to 8 right now. No good from Anderson. Rebound went to Bell and Roosevelt. They might have had some nerves going in to face Eden Prairie today. In terms of energy, you'd think Roosevelt would have the advantage. This is Eden Prairie's 4th game in 6 days. They played 3 games back to back to back in the Dick's Sporting Goods tournament. Keely Brennan gets the layup. She came in for Van Riper Rose. Finley, tough shot.
Oh.
She gets it to fall.
Nice basket there by Finley, staying aggressive, although they're down by 11 points right now. Oh.
Keely with the answer. Or Brennan with the answer. Keely Brennan gets with the answer. 22-10. Eden Prairie continuing their dominance up front. Samira Saeed misses the first, cleans up her own mess. She was right there. No one even bothered to put a hand in her face. I'm trying to give you stuff to feed on. Brennan. Ball stripped by McGuire. Roosevelt on a fast break.
Oh.
Misses the layup, but Finley with the rebound. She throws it up. No good. Goes to Eden Prairie. You can't afford to miss those fast breaks.
No, you cannot. Although they missed that was a very tough, aggressive play, and they need that to stay in this game.
Jackie Johnson gets on the board. The Eagles with a 2-1 advantage over the Teddies.
Oh. And another miscommunication pass there by Roosevelt High School. I think the man zone defense by Eden Prairie is really getting to him right now.
Shannon Anderson got called for the foul. That's her first. Fouling even for both teams. And we have a new player in for Roosevelt, number 43. She's not on the program either. I'll try to get a name for you. McGuire for 3. Too strong.
And this is going to... Oh. Tough call there. I thought it was going to stay down for Roosevelt. It looks like Eden Prairie player touched it last, but I guess not.
Eden Prairie in control of this game from the start. Jackie Johnson with another 2 points.
And Eden Prairie is just dominating inside right now.
Finley thought about a three. Now tries to get around, and she gets called for the double dribble.
A tough call there.
Shane Mullaney, good defense on her part. Well, Clayton Hargrove wasn't kidding. That's for three.
Oh.
Bullseye. Karen Gibson with the three. I was saying Hargrove wasn't kidding when he said he had a deep roster.
Not at all. I mean, anytime you can do mass substitutions and continue this high level of play, you have a pretty good team on your side. And look at the ball handling by McGuire. The girl's got some skills. And a tough inside basket there by Finley.
Brittany Finley with the layup. McGuire does lead the state in assists. She's taking control while they wait for Bowler to come back.
And if you notice here, Eden Prairie has just let off five. They just reloaded with 5 more people to come in with a substitution.
Brittany Finley with another quick layup. It's 29-16, and that's what Roosevelt needs to do. They need to understand, they don't need to get all 13 points back in one basket.
Right. And
with three, no good.
Oh, over the back.
Foul on Eden Prairie.
And once again, Eden Prairie continues to launch threes. They will fall sooner or later.
They're going to send in their starting 5. Fouls on Jackie Johnson. I guess another advantage is with the massive substitutions that it's very hard for players to get in foul trouble.
Correct. And it also keeps those legs fresh, which is very dangerous for teams with smaller rosters such as Roosevelt. Inside to Bell. Oh.
Ball will go to the Eagles.
That was a bad.
Well, there's only a 2-man crew here.
Yeah.
Most games there's a 3-man crew usually. It can be a little harder to call when you only have 2 people in the zebra stripes.
Correct.
Clark to Van Riper Rose. That's a Rothfusz. Van Riper Rose to Roth. They're looking for that 3, but Rothfusz going to go for the 2 and then drains.
Well, when you have a mid-range jump shot like that, you don't need a 3.
One of the lost arts of high school basketball. Bell. She still can't get those layups to fall.
It's all right. That's a nice play. They need to come back down and run that a few more times. That was beautiful.
Well, and they get the foul. It's going to be an over-the-back call. It's on Michelle Tobin. That's her second. Roosevelt with 1 foul, or Eden Prairie with 1 foul left to give. And you have to think that those layups are going to fall. They have to fall eventually for Roosevelt. They want to get their way in this. Finley for 3, off the mark. Rebound Tobin.
Nice defensive play by Finley.
A rare mistake for Eden Prairie, and now we see a
Tobin out.
Tobin is being substituted by Jackie Johnson. So Hargrove, he's not afraid to do a one-person sub either. Probably looking to keep Tobin from getting in foul trouble.
And Finland goes out and Wright comes in for Roosevelt as well. Oh, beautiful pass inside. Oh, great play by Eden Prairie.
Indeed.
Great play by Clark there. This is a great hustle play, and it gives their team another opportunity to come down. Watch out for the three-point shot. They tend to go to that a lot, which they can because they're up now almost by 16 points, 15-point lead. Oh, great defense by Roosevelt.
Saeed with the steal. McGuire, short. Rebound, Bell. We're going to have a jump ball. Possession arrow points to Roosevelt.
Great hustle play there on that end of the court.
Bell just not getting those layups to fall. Eden Prairie's going to take a timeout, even though they're up 2-1. I mean, if Roosevelt's shooting was... if Roosevelt's layups were falling more often, I think it'd be a lot closer, and I think that's what Hargrove is worried about.
Yes, definitely. One thing Roosevelt needs to do is capitalize on these missed threes. Seems every possession that Eden Prairie has, they're jacking up threes, and they're not nailing them all, but they are knocking down enough to keep a consistent lead here.
And if they're not shooting threes, they certainly look like they would.
Yes.
But talking about that mid-range, not something you see too often from many players. They prefer to shoot three-pointers or short jumpers. You don't have too many mid-range players. You see Eden Prairie manning up, it looks like. Playing a man.
Or go back inside to Bell. Tough basket.
Foul on Eden Prairie.
One thing that you notice is Bell. She's playing a tough game, but she just can't knock down her layups. She's had about 4 or 5 opportunities to knock down some easy inside baskets, and she needs to really capitalize on those. But she gets to the foul line, and what's you said before, she was a 50% free throw shooter, correct?
She was 1 of 2 in her last trip.
All right, so we'll see what happens here. She misses the first free throw.
I think we might have jinxed her.
It's all right. She'll get into the flow.
Eden Prairie's out of fouls to give.
Once again, she stays true to her statistics.
50% for today, 50% for the season. Again, Eden Prairie out of fouls to give, so Roosevelt will shoot free throws for the rest of the half. So if they can stay out of foul trouble, they might be able to.
Correct. We're just around 6:30 in the quarter, in the half here. And if Roosevelt just continues to stay down low, they might be able to capitalize on this foul trouble that Eden Prairie is having.
Whitman missed a 3. McGuire with the rebound. Right for a 3. That's short. Rebound, Clark. To Rothfusz.
Inside.
To Johnson. And traveling violation.
Tough play there on Clark. She's really playing a great game for Eden Prairie right now.
The elephant step got her. It's a term coined by one of my colleagues. The elephant step. It's when they're about to move forward, and then, but they take a step before they dribble the ball. But they swing their arms out like an elephant trunk.
Oh, a nice pass. Inside the Bell, and that's exactly what she needs to do. She needs to capitalize on those inside opportunities. Great play there by Roosevelt.
She finally gets one to fall, and that's what they say. Sometimes getting that first layup is the key to confidence.
Once again, Eden Prairie moving the ball around very well.
They find an open Brennan, but she can't get it to fall. She gets her own rebound. She's going to the line.
Tough call there. That was great defense by number 43, whose name we're still reaching for.
One of the ongoing problems this season is not all the coaches update the rosters as different players come in, so sometimes it's hard to know exactly who is and who isn't on the team.
Correct. And another reason why that might be is because, it's the start of the second semester or trimester that students are in, and students are eligible to play at different times. So, it's hard to keep those rosters updated. But
Brennan makes her first. Well, at least we didn't do what Fox did at as Brennan gets both, what Fox did at the Orange Bowl, where they put up a picture of Tim Tebow for a Cincinnati lineman.
Oh, classic.
So even the big boys, we got a foul on Roosevelt.
You got to let these girls hustle and play a little bit.
It's going to go against Bell.
So now Roosevelt's just in as much foul trouble as
they have one
Eden
foul
Prairie
left.
now.
They have one foul left to give with just over 5 minutes left in the half.
Tough ball.
Brennan. Traveling. Eden Prairie up on top, but they're starting to show some cracks.
Roosevelt's starting to play a little tough defense, and that's the second time Eden Prairie hasn't capitalized on their offensive opportunity. So we'll see what happens on the way back down. McGuire with the ball now.
McGuire. Oh, are you kidding me? No good. Rebound, Bell. That doesn't fall. McGuire races in there.
Great hustle by McGuire.
She's going to try again.
Oh,
another tough shot.
Tough basket. She's really trying to she's forcing shots, but it's hard when you have, 3 white shirts in front of you, too. So
doesn't matter how good you are.
Those are very tough Kobe Bryant-like baskets that she's trying to make there.
in trouble.
Oh, nice pass out of the trouble defense. Oh, travel call.
On Saeed.
Great ball movement there, though, by Roosevelt.
Both teams racking up frequent flyer miles.
Eden Prairie continuing to move the ball around. Tough defense here by Roosevelt.
Gibson to Johnson, out to Mulaney. Mulaney from the corner.
Oh,
Bullseye!
nails it. Another three-pointer.
36-19, and if the Eagles finally break their scoring drought. Finley
back it again.
traveling.
Oh, no. Yeah, traveling.
No, it's a foul on Eden Prairie.
Oh.
Karen Gibson, and again, Eden Prairie out of fouls to give, so Brittany Finley will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. She's also 50% on the season. So.
All right, let's try not to jinx her this time. Let's see what happens.
Well, as a team, Minneapolis Roosevelt shooting just 52%. I think that's one thing they'd have to work on if they want to make a big statement later on in the year.
And she misses her free throw. Eden Prairie back on the fast break. Oh, nice defense there.
McGuire looked for the steal. Went out of her hands. You have to think what Roosevelt can do when they get Bowler back. He's looking at them now. They're not doing all that bad. They're just not getting those inside buckets to fall. Johnson.
Wide open shot there by Johnson. She nails it.
Johnson doing well, shooting the mid-range shots and the short-range shots for the Eagles.
McGuire dribbling 4 white shirts around her. She squeezes a pass in.
Traveling violation on Saeed. I think that's the second one on her. McGuire doing just about everything besides busting the tables for the Roosevelt Teddies, just not getting a lot of support early. Brennan to Johnson, loses the ball to McGuire.
And they're on the fast break here. They need to capitalize on this opportunity. Oh, great hop step.
And a foul is going to go against Eden Prairie. I believe that's going to go on Whitman. And it is. That will send McGuire to the line. McGuire shooting 30 of 49, so just over 60% on the year from the free throw line. That's the thing. You look at Roosevelt's stat sheet, there really isn't a outstanding free throw shooter on their team. But McGuire gets her first. We'll say they have pretty loud fans.
Oh, she misses her second free throw.
And I believe Eden Prairie, Roosevelt's 3 for 7 from the free throw line.
Oh, kickball.
So possession will stay with the Eagles, but Roosevelt, they're trying to utilize their defense. They're looking to make things happen. Finley broken away. There she comes.
Great,
done well from there.
Great defense there by Finley once again, and she capitalized on the defense opportunity.
Catches Eden Prairie falling asleep.
Oh, tough defense by Roosevelt. If they can close the second half or this first half here with this intensity, they can momentum swing in the second half and potentially come back in this game.
Well, many coaches have told me the last 4 minutes of each half is when strange things can happen for both teams, and we've seen that a couple times this year, particularly with Minneapolis South. Yeah. They had big leads, and then they were cut short by their opposing teams. Finley.
Oh, and she's just playing aggressive. Great
Are
ball
you kidding
action.
me?
Finley.
Almost gets the ball stripped, and she still finds a way to get the
another
layup.
kickball. That's still great defense, although it's a kickball. They're playing very intense defense.
Roosevelt's down by 14, but they're certainly not playing like it.
No, not at all. And they need to close this margin by as much as they can before the end of this half.
Johnson.
Oh.
And it's a blocking foul. That's Roosevelt's last foul to give this half. Van Riper Rose will inbound it. So goes to Brennan. Looking for Whitman. Fight for the ball. Traveling violation on Eden Prairie. Minneapolis Roosevelt forces another turnover. There's one thing this team doesn't have, doesn't know, it's the phrase give up. Finley tried to go up the left side, this time goes out to right. To number 43.
Oh, tough basket inside by number 43 there.
Gets the roll. Roosevelt down by a dozen now. Fans trying to pull them in it. Clark to Van Riper Rose. Now the Roosevelt fans chanting defense.
Once that crowd gets in it, it makes things tough. Oh, here we go on the break. Out to Finley.
Finley open. No good.
Tough basket over to the back.
Foul on Roosevelt.
Number 43.
They're out of fouls to give. But it looks like it's going to be a team control foul. Nope, it's a 1-and-1. Well, they won't shoot free throws if it's a team control foul, but referees determined Eden Prairie did have possession, so Jackie Johnson will be shooting free throws. Johnson drains her first. She is a she's a 6'1" freshman center. You don't see too many freshmen playing on the varsity team, but Johnson not only playing, she's getting considerable scoring for the Eagles. And that's a post play.
That's good to build for her high school career. Start off early in these games like this, get that experience, and she might be a top recruit in Minnesota girls basketball in the years to come.
Well, she's got a little while, so I wouldn't be in a hurry to look for recruits right now. But 43, mid-range, no good. Rebound, Saeed. She's going to the line.
Once again, stand very aggressive down low is Roosevelt, and they're headed back to the free throw line. If they can knock down these free throws, they can really close the gap here.
Well, they're 3 of 7 so far. Saeed, 11 of 23, just under 50%. She gets her first. And we know how much free throws can influence the game. Just ask Memphis. Saeed makes both, so it's a 12-point game again with 1:12 left in the half.
Oh, great defense by McGuire, and it's out of bounds.
Out of bounds line was their enemy there. There's no shot clock, so Eden Prairie could run out the clock if they want. Rothfusz to Brennan. Or Clark, excuse me. Now it's Brennan. It looks like Eden Prairie could be running out the clock.
Oh,
not
tough
anymore.
defense again.
McGuire does get the steal this time. She's going to take it herself.
Nice play.
A right-handed layup.
You stay aggressive like that. McGuire, big-time defense. She's been doing it all half.
And look at this. Roosevelt has cut the lead to 10. Then Riper Rose out about a 3.
I think they're just going to wait it out.
Eden Prairie going to hold
Play
for
it
the
safe.
final shot.
Oh, kick ball. Great defense there. However, we continue to see that Roosevelt continues to have kickballs, but they're playing very aggressive defense, and they're just making quick plays, and that's why they continue to have these kickball calls on them.
It's also kind of hard to react, too,
Yes.
with those kickballs. You don't have a lot of time to see it. Well, Eden Prairie with 5 seconds.
Oh, McGuire almost gets another steal. 3 for,
no good. And that's how the first half will come to an end. But Roosevelt using their defense to cut a 19-point deficit down to 10, 40-30. We're going to take a break. While we do, we're going to throw you to some interviews I had before the game with Suriya McGuire, Minneapolis Roosevelt, and Toby Rothfusz, father of Carly Rothfusz for Eden Prairie. So we'll see you on the flip side. I'm here with Minneapolis Roosevelt guard Suriya McGuire. Suriya, your team has started 8-3, and which is quite a feat so far, considering that the team isn't at full strength yet. So where would you evaluate yourself and the team at the midway point of the season?
I think that we're doing good for so far, even though like half of our team's not here. But we have progressed to be a better team that we've been for a couple years. So I think we're doing good.
I've noticed you lead the state in assists, at least according to MaxPreps.com. So what goals did you establish for yourself at the beginning of this season, and what kind of role are you taking for Roosevelt?
I'm just trying to get the whole team involved, just trying to make all the attention not be on me, trying to make everybody get involved in the game so we just all have something to do in the game, so we can just all win as a team and not just as one person.
Now, again, you're 8-3. You've talked about how you're trying to make sure the team isn't all about you, and I know one of your big players, Shaquila Bowler, she'll be coming back in a couple weeks. So how does not having her available on the roster help strengthen the team when she does finally join?
Well, it's like we're not depending on her right now, but we are ready for her to come play with us. So like our strength is already to our highest level, so it's going to be even higher when she gets on the team.
And when she does, how will the team adjust? Because I believe she will be ready for your first match against Minneapolis South, which is coming up in a couple weeks, and then she'll be ready in time to play Jordan, which is one of your big matches later on this season.
I think that she'll fit in just fine with the flow of the game. She's going to help us greatly. She's really good. Outstanding play.
Now, last year, your team got to the section final in Class 2A, lost to Jordan, but still a pretty good run. So obviously you want to get into state. So what do you think Roosevelt will need to do, and they'll get a chance to play Jordan before then? What do you think they'll need to do to get past that point? I know it's still a ways away, but
I think we just have to play as a team, do everything better than what we did last year, because we played outstanding as a team. We just didn't have that much of a team, just 5 of us. But hopefully we just get back to that point and play our hearts out and just beat them and get the state. And
you have any goals for yourself for the rest of the season and perhaps next year when you come back as a senior?
Just really to stay healthy, because I'm always getting hurt, but just try to become better as a player, and I'm really trying to dunk by the end of this year.
Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with us, and good luck today. Once again, Suriya McGuire, Minneapolis Roosevelt. I'm here with Toby Rothfusz, the parent of Carly Rothfusz for the Eden Prairie Eagles, and I know your daughter will be going to North Dakota next year when she graduates. And how does that make you feel as a parent that your daughter was able to go to a Division I school?
Oh, very exciting. Part of what I enjoy about it is obviously I love basketball, and to have her continue to play basketball after high school is exciting both for her and for us. We'll be able to watch more ball.
So you said you're a basketball fan, so can you explain the history in your family of basketball, how it ran in your family, and perhaps where Carly got started?
Well, actually, it's I played high school, sports, and then I ended up going to the University of North Dakota to play football, not basketball. But basketball actually was my true love, but kind of small to play it, and ended up trying to teach her a little bit fundamentally when she was younger, and she loved the game and continued through it.
So when did she get started playing, and how has she progressed since you first started watching her play?
Well, I think she started in 2nd grade. What was kind of unique when I thought she was going to like basketball is we'd go play in the gym when she was a little toddler, and she'd take out the ball and start dribbling and having a good time. And 2nd grade came along and started, playing with the girls at that age, and then started teaching her some fundamentals and got on teams and kind of progressed from there.
Talk just a little bit about this season. Eden Prairie, this is their 4th game in 6 days, but they've done quite a bit and kind of sneaking under the radar so far, beating St. Paul Central and Osseo. So how has Carly done so far, and how's the rest of the team done through their first 8 games?
Actually, I think our team is done very well. I think we have a nucleus of some really good girls, and everybody's participating. One advantage that I think Coach Clayton has is a bench. That's 8, 9, 10 people deep. They can come in at any time and play and contribute. So that's what's really helped. I think we have a lot of girls that have some athletic talent, and so I think if they come to play and play together, which they're going to have, they're going to do really well this year.
Now, when this season ends and Carly changes her uniform from Eden Prairie to North Dakota, what tips will you give her, and what will you tell her as she departs to play college this time next year?
Well, I think as all high school girls, when you make that transition, and I don't care what level you play, but when you make a transition from high school to college, mentally you have to be tougher, physically you have to be tougher, and really enjoy the game. And if you have those 3 components, you're going to do well.
Okay. Thank you, and thanks for taking the time to speak with us.
You bet. Thank you.
Toby Rothfusz, parent of Carly Rothfusz.
Welcome back to Minneapolis Roosevelt High School, where Keystone Productions proudly presents high school girls basketball. We are televising a non-conference game between Eden Prairie and Minneapolis Roosevelt. And if you would like to order a DVD copy of this and any other game we broadcast this season or games from previous seasons, you can go online to www.keystoneprod.com. That's KeystoneProd.com. Games are available in the widescreen format. Visit Keystone Productions online to order your copy of high school girls basketball. Once again, Mike Peden here with Brandon Jones. We're going to take a look at our in-game box score for Eden Prairie. No players in double digits, but their balanced attack is what's got them a 10-point lead. In fact, their leading scorers don't even start. Keely Brennan and Jackie Johnson both have 8 points apiece. Brennan 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Then it's Carly Rothfusz with 7. Morgan Van Riper-Rose with 5. And Lauren Whitman with 4. For Minneapolis Roosevelt, their leading scorer isn't in the starting 5. Yeah. Brittany Finley with 10. Jasmine Bell with 6. Suriya McGuire with 5, although she's done a lot on defense. Samira Saeed with 4. And Taisha Wright with 3. The other difference, Eden Prairie 7 of 7 from the free throw line. Minneapolis Roosevelt 3 of 7. I mean, that wouldn't be enough to make up the difference, but that just goes to show you where the advantages fall.
All right, and here's some keys at the half here for both teams. Eden Prairie, they need to nail the 3. They're getting a lot of open looks, so they just need to nail it down. Also, fresh legs for Eden Prairie. They're doing the mass substitution thing that seems to be working. Continue with the fresh legs. And then get the ball inside to Michelle Tobin. She's a dominant player down low. They need to get it inside to her. On Roosevelt's side of the ball, nail the free throws. They're getting a lot of opportunities to make free throws. Make sure it happens. Capitalize on those inside opportunities and continue to play tough defense.
Lauren Whitman with the first basket for Eden Prairie. Original 5 on the floor for both teams. McGuire no good. McGuire tries to save it, and she does. Taisha Wright comes up with it. You got to like this intensity from Roosevelt's.
Oh, great hustle by Roosevelt here. Continue to hustle.
Again, Roosevelt in maroon. Eden Prairie.
Oh, nice pass by McGuire.
Eden Prairie in white. McGuire playing quarterback, goes to Cook for 3. And does she get
falls.
The bounce? Yes!
Great shot there by Cook. Wide open 3. Nail those.
That should make the score 42-33. Van Riper-Rose with the answer. Too strong. Rebound Tobin.
And she gets the
foul.
She's going to go to the line.
Foul on Saeed. This will be Tobin's first trip to the free throw line. Tobin, a 6'1" senior center, so I guess it's a good thing that Johnson's getting these minutes because Clayton Hargrove won't have Tobin next year. She gets her first, but Eden Prairie, they're showing you why they have been beating the good teams in Class 4A. Their depth plays to their advantage. Tobin makes both. It's an 11-point game. Double dribble on Bell. Bell just can't seem to get a rhythm going.
I don't know what's going on with her down there.
No, she struggled from the short range and just not being able to find that rhythm. Saeed with the steal, and that was set up by McGuire. Goes to the lane.
Oh, nice
finds
pass.
Bell.
McGuire, she's kind of a bigger point guard, and she's really slicing right through the defense and making some nice inside passes. Wide open 34 in the corner.
Rothfusz open. Bullseye.
Boom goes the dynamite. Another three there by Eden Prairie.
Roosevelt continuing to leave those open threes for Eden Prairie to chomp up. Saeed, short range, yes.
And there we go. One of the keys at the half. Capitalizing those inside opportunities. Great basket there by Saeed. Nice cut to the basket. Oh.
Fine Riper Rose drains the mid-range jumper. 12-point game again. Both teams trading baskets. McGuire off the screen. No. Rebound Whitman. Or Rothfusz. Eden Prairie throws it away. Rothfusz was the intended target. And I think that Roosevelt's intensity might be starting to get to the Eagles here.
And that's a good thing. They're only down by 12 points here. This game is not out of reach.
No, it's 15:05 to go. That's an eternity in basketball time.
And once again, McGuire drives down the lane and dishes the ball. She's only a junior, so she has a lot of raw talent, and she's going to be great next year, I think.
McGuire with the assist, Saeed with the basket, and Eden Prairie going to call timeout. I mean, McGuire.
She's doing it all without scoring right now. So to say, she's defensively in the first half, she had about 4 or 5 steals. Now she's dishing the ball down low. She's just great. She's a good player.
She was averaging 6.5 assists per game.
And she's already met that, I believe.
Wow. Here, how about this for a flashback? They don't have the PA system going. They're playing from a boombox, and they've got What is Love from Hadaway. It was popularized on a Saturday Night Live skit Night at the Roxbury. One of my games earlier this season, I called, speaking of flashbacks, someone put a tone on his cell phone to the tune from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, sort of like a communicator tone, like from Star Trek, things like that. So this season I've been getting a lot of flashback moments. But back to action here.
Nice cut inside.
Rothfusz open. She gets the left-handed layup. Cook thought about a three. Loses the ball to Rothfusz.
Inside to Tobin, and it's good. Here we go, another key at the half. Get it inside to Tobin.
It looks like Saeed was focused on stopping the pass and left her coverage behind, which was Tobin. That set up the easy layup on the other end.
Shoot it.
Right for three. Short. Rebound Tobin. Van Riper Rose for three. Too strong. Rebound Whitman. No good. Tobin with the rebound. She's going to the line.
Tobin once again inside.
Tobin made her last 2 free throws. Misses the first this time.
And for the first time in today's game, number 53 comes in for Roosevelt.
That's
Brianna Britton.
Brianna Britton, 6'3", 8th grade center. 8th grade.
Yeah.
That's a sight you don't see often.
Well, it's one thing that we see here for inner city girls basketball is they bring girls up from, 8th grade to play high school basketball just to get them ready. And also because they're kind of, mature enough not to play, middle school basketball, So it's a good thing, I believe.
Well, it's not just inner city schools. There are even some of the suburbs or the private schools will
True.
call up 7th or 8th graders. St. Paul Academy a couple years ago put a 7th grader on the varsity roster. McGuire up the left side, no good.
Oh, she goes with the putback, can't get it. And then here we go, 53. Oh,
Britton with
no
the
legs
rebound.
under that one.
You can't afford to do that if you're Roosevelt. You're down by 15. You got to get those second chance points. Eden Prairie, or Roosevelt.
Great ball movement by Eden Prairie. Tarbin keeps it herself. She had a wide open Vander Riper Rose in the corner, who's been nailing threes all day. So I don't know why she didn't pass that one, but Tarbin at the free throw line once again.
She's 3 of 4. And so far, the second half almost looked a mirror of the first half, where Eden Prairie just came out strong, and they haven't trailed throughout this whole game. Substitutions coming in for Eden Prairie. Out go Whitman and Clark. In come Mulaney and Brennan, as Tobin makes both. She's 5 of 6.
Great defense there by number 3, Kaylin Brennan.
Almost gets the steal, but it goes out of bounds. McGuire stops, pops, short. Rebound, Tobin.
And right now, Eden Prairie was just running a 1-3-1 zone defense, which is stopping that inside penetration by McGuire.
Traveling violation on Eden Prairie.
A traveling violation there. So we'll see if they go back to that. They finally figured out a way to stop McGuire from driving down the middle lane and dishing the ball out. Now they're doing a half-court trap defense.
Finley back in. She had 10 points in the first half.
All right. They're running the trap zone. McGuire dishes back out to Finland. Oh, carry. Too high.
Turnovers just killing the Teddies. But I have to imagine, looking at this Roosevelt team now, and when we see them next month against Jordan, they're going to look a lot different when they get Bowler in there. Whistle. Referees are going to discussing something with Hargrove. I'm not sure what the call is.
Just a mishap there. We don't know what happened.
I don't know if he meant to call timeout or if the referee thought he tried calling timeout, but wiped away an easy basket, but Eden Prairie will get the ball back. They're up by 17, though. Rothfusz, long two,
Great
switch.
jump shot there by Rothfusz.
19-point lead. That matches Eden Prairie's largest lead of the game. Finley draws the foul.
Tough inside basket. She couldn't capitalize on it, but very tough.
We mentioned in the first half, Roosevelt 3 of 7 from the free throw line. They have to do a little better than that.
Yes, definitely. Free throws are key, especially when you're not down by too much. Well, they're down by 19 now, but earlier in the first half, whenever they had that 9-point deficit, free throws are key. As they miss another.
Finley misses her first. Well, again, she averages 50% on the season. Looking at this Roosevelt team, if they can work on those free throws, they could do some even bigger things for the rest of the year, even if they don't win this game. Roosevelt trying with a full court press. And Brennan no good. 43. She's going to draw the foul. The foul's going to go against Brennan. That's her first personal. Finley to Wright. Wright loses the ball.
Good defense once again inside by Eden Prairie.
Brennan inside to Rothfusz. Traveling violation. Rothfusz had the right idea. She was open, but timing was just a little too fast.
So once again, right now there's an 18-point lead here by Eden Prairie. If Roosevelt just stays with their game plan and go inside, they can easily cut this lead and come back. Oh, tough basket. Tough play, no whistles. Still no whistles.
Jump ball. Minneapolis Roosevelt will take possession. I don't know how long McGuire held on to the ball, but she held on to it for a few seconds, and she wasn't going to let it go.
No. Very tough, aggressive play, and that's what you need right now. Keep that fire into your team. Don't let yourself down because you're down by 18 points. Here we go.
Well, and this game doesn't have huge implications for either team. They're in different classes, so Finley for three. Short.
Oh, tough hustle there. Finley, she shrugs it off. She's a tough player. I like her. I think she's a good fire starter off the bench. Add some energy off the bench for you. Torben wide open down court.
Roosevelt gets there. Tobin.
Back inside.
Out to Brennan for three. And no good.
Good hustle play there by Torben. But this ball will go to Roosevelt.
Yeah, Tobin couldn't get, tried to get the ball off a Roosevelt player, but she stepped out of bounds that time. To finish the thought earlier, Roosevelt's in Class 2A, Eden Prairie in Class 4A, so these two teams won't be dealing with each other in the state tournaments. McGuire loses the ball to Brennan. And just like that, she steals it right back, and she's open. Completes the right-handed layup.
Great play there by McGuire. Once again, her tough defense making a difference as you capitalize on the other end of the court.
Only 7 points.
Almost another steal by her.
Only 7 points in this game, but that number is a little deceiving if you've been watching it from the start.
Yeah, she may only have 7 points, but if you look at her whole stat line, she has 7 points, she has about 4 or 5 assists, and about 4 or 5 steals, so she's doing a lot right now. Actually checks out of the game for Bell.
She might have hurt herself a little bit. Or Coach Tim Williams maybe looking to give her a little bit of rest before bringing her back out for the final push if Roosevelt should still be in this.
Great inside play there by number 12 in Prairie's Whitman.
Lauren Whitman with the basket. Bell, she struggled inside.
And she continues to struggle inside.
You have to wonder, maybe she's just having an off day because she averages 14.6 points per game. That leads the team. On the other end, Mulaney can't bring down the basket. 43, up, no good.
We'll go back at the other end. Number 12, wide open again, Whitman. And, she draws the foul.
That's going to go on Wright. Eden Prairie's depth just a little too much right now for Roosevelt, a team that still isn't at full strength. I know we've brought that point up several times, but that really has played a key factor in this game. As Whitman takes it first.
McGuire checks back into the game. As Whitman knocks down her free throw.
Now, Eden Prairie, this will be a good setup for them. They're not done with the Minneapolis City Conference yet. Ooh, almost a backcourt violation. They're going to be playing
tough trap defense.
They're going to be playing Minneapolis South next Thursday.
Finland wide open, and
she's not even close.
That defense, Eden Prairie's trap defense right now is very tough and is creating a lot of controversy right now for Roosevelt.
Eden Prairie showing you why they're the number 6 team in the state in the Max Preps poll. They're not even in the top 10 in the Minnesota AP poll, and you think if they keep winning like they do here, they might get some consideration.
Oh.
Inside, Mulaney draws the foul.
Oh.
She'll go to the free throw
Tough
line.
play, almost got the basket there by Mulaney.
Mulaney, a 5'9" freshman guard. The other freshman on Eden Prairie's team, they only have 2. Johnson is the other. One of 2 for Mulaney. But it's a 21-point lead for Eden Prairie, and they look to be in control of this one. McGuire stops, pops. Can't get it to fall.
Wide open here. Mulaney. And it's good.
Karen Gibson.
That's Gibson. Sorry about that. Gibson there at the basket.
Eden Prairie getting a lot of open looks, and then there we see the massive substitutions again. It looks like he's going to send his starting 5 back out there.
Kick it out. Tough basket there by McGuire.
Roosevelt finally breaks that scoring drought, but they're going to have to hurry if they want to win this one. And Tobin in trouble. Goes to Gibson for 3. Short. Rebound 43. Finley.
Oh, tough defense there by Gibson.
Gibson tried to steal it, but went off for her, so Roosevelt will keep possession. But here come the substitutions, and it's a massive one. In fact, we're going to have a timeout for Roosevelt, and this probably not a more opportunistic time than now to take it if you want to win this game. Well, while we're at a timeout, like to ask you, I know you've been following South, so you know how Taylor Hill's been doing?
No, I haven't been following them too much this season, but I know last season she had a great year. This year, I believe she's continuing on to how she was before. So,
well, she leads the state in scoring, and I bring her up because you're going to see her in our next televised game. It's next Saturday at 1 o'clock at South High School. They play host to number 1 ranked Jordan in Class 2A. That is going to be a fun game. You have Taylor Hill from Minneapolis South, Brittany Chambers from Jordan. Chambers doing some big things over there. Of course, she holds the record for most points in a playoff game, scoring 47 in last year's state semifinal. So,
oh, wow, yes.
I don't know. If you want good basketball, come to South next Saturday or wait for us for the telecast. It's going to be a fun one, South and Jordan. It's our next televised game. Over at Minneapolis South. But meanwhile, we got to finish this game up first. Van Riper Rose goes for the steal, but went out of bounds. Samira Saeed stepping back in, replacing number 43. We see McGuire back in the game for Roosevelt. Finds Saeed. Saeed gets bumped, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Foul there by Zook.
Jessica Zuck. This is her first action of today's game. And Saeed struggled a little bit in the first half. Makes her first here. Makes both. The lead is now 19. Clark to Johnson. Johnson did well in the first half. Missed that basket there. And right with the rebound drives all the way herself. No good. She might have tried to look for a foul, and that Eden Prairie just let her throw it up. But you were talking about earlier going into all those white jerseys, and that's also what happened. Van Rijper on the free throw line, drains it.
And the reason for that is they continue to run that zone. They ran about 2 or 3 different zone looks today, and they've all been pretty effective. So as long as they continue, right now they're running a man defense. Well, they're up by enough points to actually control with the man defense. Oh,
McGuire, count it.
Tough basket there inside by McGuire. Now let's see if she can hit this free throw. We're just under 7 minutes, and they're down by 21 points. This game's not completely out of reach, but it's going to be a pretty tough uphill battle here to come back and win this game.
Roosevelt fought hard to cut that deficit in the end of the first half. Oh, don't count them out yet. McGuire completes a 3-point play. So it's an 18-point game. Zuck to Van Rijper Rose, back out to Clark. Eden Prairie might be playing to kill the clock a little bit. Van Rijper Rose, no good. Rebound Johnson, no foul, but she gets the basket.
Tough inside basket there by Johnson. Great job.
Johnson had 8 points in the first half. Finley spins around, goes to Bell. Bell,
and she's just
still struggling.
It's tough. And you know, when you have days like this, it starts to wear on you, and she can't let her head down. She's played a tough game. They're just not falling for her. Oh, inside. Oh, nice play. Could not capitalize. Go. Live ball. Bell brings it up. Wide open.
McGuire has 10. Goes back to Bell. Bell tries to get positioning.
And draws the foul. They need these 2 free throws, and once again, not to jinx her, but she's been 50% today and has been all season long, so we'll see if she can capitalize. They need these free throws.
I don't think they can hear us. I think we're safe from the jinx. Misses the first. One of my colleagues told me with free throws, you can almost tell right from the start whether they're going to make them or miss them just based on the routine and what they do. 1 of 2. She holds true to form. I think she shot 50% for the day. Johnson out to Rothfusz. Back to Zuck. Van Rijper Rose, mid-range, drains it. Doing well this half, 71-50. McGuire, spin move, too strong. Gets her own rebound, fights her way through traffic, no good. And a foul on Roosevelt, on McGuire over the back.
I believe that's her 4th foul so far. So 1 more and she's done for the day.
Oh, they have 3 on the scoreboard.
Oh, okay.
Both teams in the bonus, though. And the way Roosevelt's shooting free throws and then just things not going their way today. 5 minutes to go. They'd have to make a big comeback to come away with this one.
Oh, she had the lane there. She didn't take it.
McGuire nearly loses it. We've got a foul. That's going to go against Zuck. And again, both teams in the bonus, so McGuire will go to the line to shoot 1 and 1. McGuire also not having the best day in terms of shooting. Misses the free throw. Eden
Roosevelt still playing the man. Tobin loses the ball to right. Finley
block there,
loses the ball back to Tobin. I think the team for Roosevelt, they've been getting the job done on defense, just not so well in offense.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it started out. They started the second half a little flat. They ended the first half up tempo, and that they kind of hung their heads there after a while. So, and that's continued on out through the second half. They continue to play tough defense, which is great. Right now, they need to capitalize. Torben, not a great ball handler. If she brings it out that far, you need to capitalize on that.
Rothfusz too strong. Tobin, yes.
She might not be able to handle the ball outside, but inside she's dominant. Great play there.
And the foul. Fouls on Bell. That's her third. Both teams in the bonus, but it looks like Eden Prairie's got this one in the bag. And for Eden Prairie, they've been getting the job done on shooting and free throws, but they did show a little bit of crack in their shield with Roosevelt's intensity from earlier in the first half. What do you think they need to do to position themselves, especially with South coming up?
Well, it's going to happen. Every team's going to have their high point and their low point in the game. So with things like that going on, they just need to continue doing. They're playing a great game here. Obviously, they're winning. They're up by 24 points. So with South coming up, they continue to do what they're doing today, keep those fresh legs going, and knock down those three-pointers that they shot in the first half, and they'll have a pretty successful season. So, I mean, they're already having a great season.
Saeed with the last basket for Roosevelt. Whitman with the last basket for Eden Prairie. And, yeah, we said the great season already. Eden Prairie taking down big gun St. Paul Central and Osseo.
But really, I think the key to the second half has really been the play by Tobin. She's dominated, and every time she's got the ball, she's had an opportunity to go to that free throw line, and then she knocks down her free throw. So the big transition from the rest of her players in the first half to her dominating has been huge. So
shooting another big difference, and the McGuire and Bell not having their games like they normally do.
Yeah, and that is another key. Roosevelt probably would be in this game more if Bell would have knocked down her open shots inside. Finland, who's just having a great game off the bench tonight. She's been playing tough defense, and she's been knocking down some big baskets. So,
well, Finley averages 13 points per game coming into today, so she is a very solid bench player.
Yeah, she's no stranger to playing well. That's great.
And if you're a Roosevelt fan, even if you're an opponent following Roosevelt, the consensus just might be, let's wait for Bowler to come back. McGuire will get called for a fourth foul, but by now it's a moot point. And then for Eden Prairie to come out and play Roosevelt like they did, another big deal is, again, this was their fourth game in 6 days. So
with a team like Eden Prairie, they have a large team. So, and the way that they structure their game plan is by having these massive subs, so it keeps those legs fresh. So really, they may have played 5 to 6 games in a row, but the way they substitute in and out of the quarter, it doesn't seem to wear them down as much as you would think.
But the score not indicative of how this game is going.
Oh, tough defense by Finland again.
Finley open, you know what she's going to do.
Oh.
Or maybe not.
Tough play there. It's all right. I think she might have stumbled a little bit there.
And Eden Prairie.
That's tough.
Eden Prairie will call timeout, and that just has to stink. If you're Brittany Finley, you're open, and then 2 points wiped away. Well, they take a full timeout. While we do, again, we'd like to remind you, if you'd like to order a DVD copy of this or any other game we televise this season, you can go online to visit Keystone Productions at www.keystoneprod. That's KeystoneProdProd.com. Games are available in widescreen format.
Visit Keystone Productions online to order your copy of high school girls basketball. And that last basket by Finley just sums up how Roosevelt's day.
It's been tough, very aggressive play. She had a wide open layup, and it just kind of got away from her there. But they should hang their head. They've been playing a tough game. They just haven't capitalized on those opportunities to kind of close the gap here, the scoring gap that's going on. But
go ahead.
They don't have too much to hang their head on today. So I believe that they're a team on the rise. Like you said, they're a sleeper team. They're almost there, and once again, they're missing their star player who can, accumulate some more points for them. And along with teams, usually when they have their star player, the whole team plays better because it's less pressure on them. So they're on their way.
Well, she'll be back in time for Jordan. We'll be televising that game later on. So, I imagine we'll see a different Roosevelt team than what we see now.
Great inside play. Could not capitalize on a basket there.
And looked like that was almost a frustration foul on Cook.
So Mulaney will head to the free throw line here.
And like you said, Roosevelt shouldn't be hanging their heads over this one.
No, they played a very tough game. They played great defense. No matter what the score says, their defense has been pretty stellar today. They just cannot knock down those key inside baskets and those free throws, and that hurts.
Well, you were talking about dark horses, and this might be the year where just about everybody could play a dark horse role. I know Hopkins was favored to win state. They went 10-0 before losing to South in the Dick's Sporting Goods tournament. South has been upset by Maple Grove and then lost to Hopkins in the opening weekend. Finley for three.
There she is again. Right now, if you want to pull out MOB, the most outstanding player right now for Roosevelt, it'd be Finland off the bench. She's been playing great defense. She's been knocking out some key shots as well.
Going back to the dark horses, even St. Paul Central, somewhat of a dark horse. They're 8-3. They lost to Eden Prairie and Eastview in the Dick's Sporting Goods tournament, but they usually don't get to peak capacity until the end of the season when it counts anyway. That's exactly what happened to them last year as we entered the final minute of play. Again, South with a couple losses. Centennials dropped a couple. In Class 4A, there really isn't a clear-cut favorite like there was last year when everyone thought Centennial would march on undefeated, and then 2 years ago when St. Paul Central went 32-0.
And I believe that's good. That's good for the state of Minnesota girls basketball when there's not a clear-cut favorite. That keeps it intense. It keeps it interesting. Who wants to see a team just blaze through everyone? Fair and balanced is pretty good to have.
I know that was missing from a couple years ago. Everybody was just waiting for Central to make it official, but last year Central had to work a little bit, and this year I think every team's going to have to work a little bit to win that state tournament. There is no clear favorite.
And that's good.
Well, I hope you had fun calling this game here, as Wright will get 2 more points before the game ends.
And right now, all they can do, and this game ends. A great game. I believe that Eden Prairie came in here and did what they had to do, which was dominate and win this game. Roosevelt has nothing to hang their heads over. They play great defense. They just need to work on that free throw shooting and those inside opportunities, and they'll be well on their way. Eden Prairie, another win for them.
Well, it was fun having you and your debut.
And thank you for having me. Thank you.
Give you something to blog about for your next episode of B. Jones TV.
All right, I'm Brandon Jones. I'm signing out.
And again, for Brandon Jones and everyone else here at Keystone Productions, this is Mike Peden. So long, everybody.
This program was made possible in part by the continuing contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.